Hey, I'm Patience,
And I'm Yasmin.
and this
Is
is
artist
Artist
advice.
Advice, where we talk to artists and creators in the industry about their experience and any wisdom they have to share.
And on this episode, we have the great Coffee with us.
Welcome to the
Thank you.
show.
Thank
You're
you.
making me feel really special, like 2 inches taller right now. So thank you.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? We want to go back to Little Coffee right now.
yes.
So, what was it like, in the beginning, like in the
Mhm.
beginning of your journey? What was the beginning of your
Yeah.
artist journey like?
Yes.
Um, that's been a while now. I've had what's the thing? It started in church anyway.
Amen.
I think
Beautiful.
like all great musical stories, it starts,
Yes.
from and then, but I haven't, to be honest, I'm not giving all the attention. I've always had a life outside of music. And so, I've always dabbled as well as my day job and professional life. I've kept the music thing and the fire burning from early days in church. Then part of a boy band. We were trying
Oh,
to be the Black Street in Nigeria. And
wow, that's
yeah.
awesome. I love that.
And we got a chance to do some really cool stuff, got really famous and popular and stuff. And but then I had to move to the
Congratulations.
yeah,
That's so
thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Woo!
And then I had to leave all that behind and move to the UK. And so, well, in pursuit of other dreams in my other life, in my day job and stuff. And so,
Mhm.
but I've always kept music alive. And moving to the UK, it gave me a chance to start to work with, that three-piece bands who would play rock music. That's that
Wow.
rock
Rock
sound.
music. Okay, with the
Oh.
rock.
Yeah, so I'd have a lead guitar, bass guitar, and drums.
Mhm.
That typical
Mhm.
rock kind of style. I come
Style.
from more the
Yes.
R&B gospel,
I love
very,
that.
yeah. Yeah, but then what I started doing was trying turn a lot of the popular rock songs into soulful R&B style renditions. So
Okay.
I'd put
Nice.
R&B soul vocals on classic rock songs, and it kind of worked. And so yeah, on the back of that, I've done lots of things, lots of. Maybe it's too early to go into all of that, but I've done quite a bit by myself, and
Mhm.
while still keeping my day job, if you know if you know what I mean. But
Yeah. Do
We
yeah,
what you
get
gotta
it. We
do.
get it.
the
You
Yeah.
gotta do
hustle,
what you
yeah, the
gotta do. Yeah.
grind on both
Yeah.
fronts. But yeah, that's been it up until now. I've been on a few talent shows. I've been on The Voice. I'm
Oh,
going potentially going back on The Voice again. I've been on,
Ah, that's so
congratulations.
yeah,
awesome.
How was that
yeah.
experience for you?
It's been amazing. And you know how you take even the losses, and the learnings, because you learn with every step that you take. You
Yes,
get better.
yes.
Just where you think you know it, you figured it out. Sometimes there's lots of things that make the connections, and until you get in, you keep trying stuff and learning from the experiences. You'll never know what you need to adjust and make changes with. So I was on a show called Starstruck, and even though it's really about artists who want to sound like their idols, their musical idols, and
Mm.
the show was about us trying to be like Marvin Gaye. So we'd walk like Marvin, talk like
Okay.
Marvin, sing like
Wow.
Marvin on stage. Um,
That's so cool.
That's quite the experience.
but we're very original musicians, so
Yes.
we're
Yes.
not really that kind of tribute act, if you know what I mean. And so,
No. Yeah.
but I went away from the show realizing how well, the soul style suits me. It's so organic to me that I open my mouth, it's just soul, like that. I take
Yes.
it for granted. I want to be more R&B. I want to be more, you know what I mean, like.
I get what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now I realize that's my strong suit, and I just need to stay there. What
Yes.
comes naturally is my strength, and just you know, yeah, grow that rather than try to be something else. So yeah,
That's so good.
so
That's
yeah, it's
beautiful.
a
I like it. So it's
Yeah.
nice that you're also building and finding your stride and you have an idea as to exactly what you want to be. So that's half the battle.
Half
You
the
know,
battle
you
right there.
already know what you sound like, what you have, and
Right.
capable of, and that's amazing.
So
I absolutely agree.
what's one project that you're proud of then, as far as like tapping into that
Mm-hmm.
unique sound that you have?
Oh, I'm doing a lot of things at the moment, but I think it's the cover albums I'm working on now. Because what I've done is taking a lot of the songs and I strip them down, take all the instrumentation out, so it's just me and the guitar. And
Mm.
so I'm doing covers of lots of songs, and it's all acoustic covers, but they're all very different in rendition and style, and yeah, I'm
That
really
sounds
proud of them.
cool.
And
They're
acoustic is beautiful. You hear the lyrics. You hear the
yes,
Yes.
that's
lyrics.
right,
Yes.
That's how you
that's
actually
right.
feel the song.
Yes.
So that's
And I can pour my
beautiful.
heart into it, and that's what I've tried to
Mm.
do. They're very unplugged. I'm not too fixated on the refinements, if you know what I mean. So
Mm.
every song is done in one take,
Well, that's
like
brave.
one take. It's my I don't do more than one take on the song. So
Mm-hmm.
I do the song. And the beauty of busking is you've done these songs 1,000 times. So when you get in the studio, you can just go start to finish. And that's how I record. I don't do songs twice. I do the song start to finish. And then maybe if I need to do ad libs and stuff, I'll do the ad libs separately. But the actual song will go end to end once, and that's it.
Mm.
So they call me one take coffee in the studio.
Ooh, I love
Well, that
it.
is a talent. Not many can go from beginning and end with that confidence and that
Yeah.
drive and that gusto. Like, you know what? I got this. This is the song. I've done this from beginning to end so many
Yes.
times that when you're in, you're ready. You're show ready.
Incredible talent.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
it should be. That's how it should be.
Well,
Yeah, I think I lose it after the first take. Somehow it starts to diminish after the first two takes, and it's like I
the
lose
Okay.
energy.
that thing. Yeah, yeah. So
Totally get
That's
that. So
amazing.
what's a part of your creative process then? Because now I'm curious. Like, how do you prepare to go into that moment ready to
Mm-hmm.
do that one take? What's your creative process?
it's really just practice, right? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
always on the streets. I mean, between
Mm.
every evening after work, I find 2 3 hours of busking on the streets of London, and what that's done is really refine what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and it brings a lot of confidence because I perform all the time. I've been back to back major gigs recently, like every few days I'm performing, like
You're keeping
really serious
busy.
gigs. And so
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
when you go on stage, it's just the confidence of knowing you've done this so many times. They say
Mm-hmm.
10,000 hours makes a master or mastery. So for
Wow.
me, I've done my 10,000 hours in terms of constantly performing. So I get on stage and I'm just having fun. And the energy just comes across. Like you're just having a blast, you know what I mean? So
You're doing what you
Yeah.
love. Of course, you
yeah,
enjoy. You get in.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So
That's soul food.
Mm.
it all comes together. And so part of that process is the repetition of practice that perfects the thing. But then also when I create music, I do that subconsciously. I wake up with now I kind of know the days when I sleep and I wake up with songs in my dreams, in my dream state. So I wake up
Mm-hmm.
from my dreams and I hear the full song in my dream. And the best thing to do, because I don't really produce stuff,
Okay.
Mhm.
so I literally just record on my phone the sounds I've heard in my sleep. As soon as I get out of bed, I'm just recording because I hear the vocal, I hear the leads
Yes.
many times,
Mhm.
I hear the bass lines, I hear the key components of the song. So I try to mimic that in my recordings,
Mhm.
and then
Okay.
I take that to the studio at some point.
Wow.
And that's how I've got tons and tons of songs like that just from my dream
Mm.
state. Yeah, that's how a lot of my music comes to
Now
me.
I'm
So
curious. So now how do
Mm-hmm.
you evolve it from your dream state and getting into that rough
To the
draft of a
action. Mm-hmm.
concept of a voice note to the actual song? Like how do you go from point A to point B with that?
Mm-hmm.
like you're saying, it starts out with that rough draft, but I will um sometimes I might just recall the song just on going through my day. A bit of that song will come back, and so what I try to do is sit down and try and formulate a verse
Mm-hmm.
or a hook, something that is tangible for that song,
Mhm.
and then I would um once again vocalize it, write it down,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and then yeah, that's it. I just record them, so I've got lots of notes with the vocal recordings multiple times, different takes, just to give me a sense later on of how I could do the hook. Sometimes I just go from hook to bridge. I've got a
Mhm.
beautiful fancy bridge, so I record the bridge. Oh, that's going to be good
Mm-hmm.
for a bridge. So I write it down as much as possible. I take notes about as much as possible that I can remember. And then I gradually refine it. And sometimes one or two of those songs will come back to me. Like, and then
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
when it does, when ideas about any one of those things come back to me, I just pick that thread up and then try and flesh it out some more. And it's progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I get the chance to get in the studios, and you just take a chance of working on one or two of them. So yeah,
Yeah, and you also did all of that work beforehand, so that way when you're in the studio, it's there's no second guessing. You already did
that's
the
right.
legwork. You
That's
already
right.
rolled up your sleeves. You got
Ready to
compressed
go.
Ready to
ready,
go.
and that's the way to
And
do
then
it.
what you're doing in the studio is just adding to it because I don't like to
Mm-hmm.
go. I need to have something to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at the moment I'm also working, so that's generally my creative process, and it's these covers that are probably the hottest thing for me now. So look out for them. It's a continuation of my series. It's Coffee Covers Unplugged. So there's a bunch of them
Ooh,
coming through
okay.
everywhere you find music. Covers Unplugged, and these ones are not released yet, so they're you probably only find them on SoundCloud. I've got some stuff, snippets of the songs on SoundCloud, so you can check the raw stuff
Okay.
out there.
That's
But it's
And
coming soon.
and the new covers would also be on SoundCloud, or would it be on all
Yeah, so the new
platforms?
covers, you can find the new covers on SoundCloud, the raw
okay. So
versions
good.
on SoundCloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the actual, I've got volumes two, three, I th-
Mm-hmm.
two, three, four. Oh, sorry, two and three are out in circulation. That's the oldest stuff. So I've got up to
Okay.
volume three, I think, out on everywhere you find music. But four,
Amazing.
and I've got a deluxe version, coming through. So there's yeah,
Ooh.
the raw stuff on SoundCloud and the real, finished things
Mhm.
everywhere you find music. Yeah.
We got the
Oh, okay.
exclusive. I
How
love it. Yeah.
exciting!
So yeah, that's how to know
Congratulations.
what's coming. If you look on SoundCloud, you'll get a sense of what potentially going to come through.
Yes.
That's
So,
awesome.
like, I
And
guess we
then,
can get into, like, what is some advice, that you
yes.
have from, or maybe because you've been doing this for some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is a piece of advice do you wish you had early on in your
Yes.
career?
Mm. Um, yeah, take the opportunities that come. Right, very early on, straight out of the while I was with the group, we had a chance to sign with a major record label at the time back in in my country, and the terms were not right. Once again, because of this thing where you've got a life outside of music, and you just feel like you're not going to be shortchanged. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we were too, I guess, I don't know, fixated on numbers at the time, and we didn't take the opportunity that came at the time because I think we our trajectory would have gone like that. It'd have been a different story now if we'd taken the opportunity then. But we didn't want to be ripped off. And the truth is that as an
Yeah.
artist, creative, you're going to be ripped off. So I've lost my innocence. I know someone is going to take advantage of me at some point. I'm okay with it. But I think it's part of the price you pay as you start out. People will use your talent. Sometimes you won't get paid for your worth and your value, but you got to
Well,
keep doing.
yeah,
You got to just
Chris,
yeah.
yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
just to add, Chris Brown actually said something similar to what you're saying as far as, he had to kind of earn his dues in a way,
Yep.
like take the
Yep.
deal, do earn the right to make that creative control, show them
Mm-hmm.
that you know what you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
right.
and then work your way out of those situations to where you
That's right.
start
That's
calling the
right.
shots.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Because if you wait for the perfect, there are no perfect circumstances, and especially as a young creator, no matter how talented you are, there's a ton of talents out there. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
talent out there, and yeah, there's no guarantees that your talent will do the thing. It's a mix of talent, luck, and just sometimes, you know, just
Strategy is
Yes.
uh,
everything.
yeah, and
Strategy.
just yeah, doing the grunt work, and sometimes, like I said, being taken advantage of in the
Hmm.
early days. Just do it. I mean, I've done lots of free stuff, a lot of music I've done free. I mean, I literally free. Just
For the love of the music.
Yeah,
Yes.
for
just
love.
yeah, for the love of music. And sometimes they say, yeah, that doesn't pay the bills, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my own experience, and I'm not by any stretch of the imagination a superstar or anything. But I think that it's part of the process, right? You got to just yeah, it's a sacrifice you got to be willing to make at the start. Be ready to be taken advantage of, and just as you grind and as you get better and as you improve your craft,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, until
And
it's
don't
the
let
approach
it
I use to
discourage you.
everything in life. I feel like just keep doing what you're doing. And that day will come, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
yeah, you can earn your keep. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you can command your wages and say, this is what I want, but you paid your way through to get there. And it's, yeah, talent alone is not going to guarantee that from the start. So, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
Very
it
true.
reminds me of this one image that I always have in the forefront of my mind of when it has the two mining, the miners that go to the diamond, and
Yep.
then the
Yeah.
one that saw
Stops
someone
just before it.
just before the
Just before it.
jackpot, just
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
well, just felt discouraged and decided to give up. So I always think of that image. I'm like, no, gotta keep going.
Gotta keep
Think
going.
about that image. You're almost there. You don't know when you're there, but you could be just a little bit, just a few more inches, and just another try
A little more,
short
one more
of,
try, one more song, one more
yes,
And
collaboration.
really, the
yes.
only way that happens is if you do it for the love, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you really only can keep that marathon mindset rather than sprint mindset when you're doing it for the love. It's a mixture of all of that. Because if you love this stuff, you think about it like a marathon. To be honest, I've quit music a few times already in my life. Like there were times when I thought I'm not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then you walk away and music just has a hold on you. Like wherever it's like wherever you go,
Mm-hmm.
the thing just pulls you back in. It's like
Inspires you.
you know you've got this gift, right? And
Yes.
I think I've got something that the world needs. And so I haven't my approach is use what you've got, start where you are, and do what you can.
With
And
the
so
best you can. Yeah.
yeah, do the best you can. I started doing that during lockdown, playing from my rooftop during lockdown, and then word got out. And then people started asking me to show up at their doorsteps, and I played for people who were sick, terminally
Wow.
ill, and I made close friends on the back of that. I would go perform socially distant, like from their gates and stuff. And then a Soul Town festival, a huge South London-based soul festival group got in touch. They started taking me south round South London on a bus to play socially distant
Okay.
during lockdown.
That's
And then
amazing.
Coca-Cola Holland got in touch to say they seen what I was doing, and it was amazing, and they wanted me to sing. And then I told I did a Coke. It reminds me of what's his name? Yeah, but I did a Coca-Cola advert on the back of the stuff I was doing, and I was singing on the ad.
Wow, that's
What? That's
huge.
amazing. That's
Yeah, yeah, it's
amazing.
crazy. And then I got on The Voice. That was the first time I got on The Voice 2021. The Voice got in
Amazing.
touch with me, scouted me to get on the show, and then
You never know where it
you
could
know,
come from.
Yeah,
yeah, and
that's
then it's been a series of
incredible.
things, and then Starstruck, and then yeah, and then yeah, so many things. Like, but the point is, you take what comes and you do what you can with what you've got,
Hmm.
right? You can't wait for the
Hmm.
perfect circumstances,
Hmm.
And
and
it
so it's a
is
mix of all of these things.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's
Well, you know
beautiful.
what? How can we stay connected with you? Like, I
Yes.
know you said, so what are some of the best ways we can keep in touch with your journey?
I'm on social, so it's I try to put as much when I find the time. I'm really crap at social, but it's all on social. It's I am coffee music, one word.
Okay.
I
Okay.
am coffee music, one word. It's a
Okay.
mouthful, but that's me on all social, Facebook, Instagram, everything. That's how to find me. So
Okay.
yeah, but I'm very active on Instagram. I try to put stuff out on Instagram quite regularly, so you'll see, you'll catch up with what's happening on there.
Fantastic.
That's great. And we do have this one game that we play on our podcast that's
Okay.
called Guess That Artist.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Guess that artist. We're guessing
Okay.
that artist
Hmm.
today. And so basically, we're going to give you a little clue.
Hmm.
And you
All
have
right.
30 seconds to guess who the artist is that we're referring to.
Oh
So,
goodness.
what you think? What you think is going to be a good one for him? It can't be too easy.
Can't be too easy. Can't be too
Can't be
hard.
too hard either.
Maybe this one?
Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. This is a good one. This is a little challenge. Okay, here we go. A key figure in the neo soul movement. This artist is known for his smooth vocals and critically acclaimed album Voodoo, which features the hit song untitled How Does It Feel? Who is this artist?
Of course, D'Angelo.
You know
I
your
knew it.
stuff. You know your stuff. That's so good.
That's
That was
amazing.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah. He's like, oh,
I know this. That's light work. That's so good. So I guess we can, definitely.
yes. And we also would like to find out what is any final piece of advice that you would like to give to the artists out there?
Yeah, think about it like a sprint, like a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the famous, well, he's late now. The rapper Nipsey used to say, right?
Mm.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and
Okay.
that's the way to look at it. That's the only way to look at it because you're going to face lots of discouragements. You're going to quit, like I've done a few times. But yeah, it's long term. It's long distance. You got to stay in it and take the wins. Sometimes they'll be small, but
Still wins.
they'll keep you going. Yeah, they'll keep you going. And yeah, I'm fortunate. I have, well, it's a gift and a curse in the sense that maybe if I had nothing else to focus on, I would give my full attention to music, and I know I wouldn't be where I'm at. But I'm also lucky. For me, um, I'm not like every other. Well, in the sense that there's two sides to me. There's this left right brain thing. I like the creative process, and I like all the creative music thing as well. But I'm very intellectual as well. I've got almost like PhD in math and stuff.
Analytical, very analytical.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, the two sides complement me. I need to find, you know,
In between.
fulfillment in both, right?
Mm.
It's yeah, it's not one or the other. They're not mutually exclusive. I need to express myself in both, yeah, in from
Yeah.
both perspectives. So um what can I say? You got to think about it like a long-term thing. If it means you have to do something else on the side that keeps you chasing the dream and keep that long term, so that that pays the bills, because at some point you're going to have to pay bills and live in the real world. And so yeah, you got to find a way to keep your life going while you keep this vision, if you can. Otherwise it can get really, yeah, trying. So that's my story, right? And maybe for some other people, they just go head first, and music is the only thing, and it might work for them. But I can only tell you what my own stories and what my journey has been about. So
That's truth.
That's truth. That's
Thank you.
truth.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
honest and vulnerable with us and just sharing everything that you have, to offer and extend. And we appreciate it so much.
And what you've been
thank
working
you.
on, it's honestly, we're looking forward to listening to your coffee
Covers. Let's get
covers.
into it.
Yes.
The
Thank you.
unplugged.
It's really good to hear that the music is appreciated. So yeah, I was talking to someone at a party yesterday, and he was saying, like, yes, we need to. You, I can feel the music when you do. Like, I can feel it, and I was
So
like, yeah,
soulful.
that's the. So I did my job tonight. So yeah, that's the whole point of my music. It's so you can feel it. So thank you, ladies. You can feel it. You got so much soul, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time and your
you.
energy
Absolute pleasure. Have a
for
Oh,
great
being a part
evening
of our
now.
podcast.
you
You too. Have a
too.
great
And
Uh,
evening.
this has been another
Another
episode
episode
of
of Artist
Artist
Advice.
Advice.